Manjit, thank you so much for chatting to us today. Can we just start off, would you mind introducing us with your name and the company?
Sure. Hi, I'm Manjit Rana. I'm now the General Manager for Clearspeed across the UK, EMEA and APAC.
So, you're often described as one of the pioneers of Insurtech movement. You've run a successful innovation consultancy and recently launched Insurtech Scout. Why have you decided to join Clearspeed?
So it's quite interesting. So from kind of where I sit in the Insurtech world, you see an awful lot of really interesting technologies, new business models, and very, very rarely you come across something that you think this is going to be a game changer for the industry. I've come across it once before, and I came across Clearspeed, and that's the second time that I've come across something that I genuinely thought this is going to be a game changer, and I kind of had to be a part of it. So the technology, amazing. The team that are there, amazing people to work with. So those two things combined, and the fact that Alex, the CEO, is very persuasive in trying to get me to come over. So that's kind of the reason.
Yeah. And voice technology is not a new phenomenon, especially in insurance. What makes Clearspeed so unique?
I think most of the voice technology type stuff is all based around trying to understand the person, that can learn their voice patterns, trying to determine who they are, look for stress and stuff like that. This was quite interesting because it came from a military background where that's not what they were looking for. They were just trying to find a way to identify people like a metal detector, kind of clear the safe stuff so you could focus on where the problem areas are. Now that problem exists in lots of different industries. You know, whether it's benefit fraud, whether it's recruitment, whether it's claims and insurance, and that's what I find fascinating because nobody really focuses there, and people generally don't focus on the opportunistic type stuff, which at the moment is a massive issue. So for me, it's really that's where the difference is. So yeah, that's what made me interesting.
And when it comes to insurers driving innovation, what are the main benefits of partnering with an Insurtech compared to innovating from within?
Sure. So and it's something that I've kind of been preaching for donkey's years. The problem when you innovate from within is you come from a very particular mindset. You're kind of ingrained into the way things work. So I've always found whenever we're trying to innovate, whether it was when I was at AXA Innovation or any of the other projects that we've done, is you've got to look at the problem from a completely different perspective because otherwise you don't really innovate. And most of the projects that we've worked on, the innovation always comes from outside of the industry. So having somebody else's perspective, so whether it's looking at A&E consultant looking at the way they handle complex processes and applying that to complex claims processes. It's the same problem, but you're looking at it from a different lens. And I think that's the key difference. Kind of bringing stuff in from outside of your normal world and looking at people that solve similar problems, but looking at how they solve them. And those technologies, when they come from a different area, are usually quite interesting in the way they applied the technology. So yeah, that's kind of it.
So what's happened with Insurtech Scout then?
So basically we put a team in place that's now taking that platform forward, and we're recruiting more people as well. So basically I'm stepping back from it from a day-to-day basis, and there's a much more capable team that will now go run it. I did the bit I'm good at, which is kind of creating it from zero to a solution. Now somebody needs to take it to market. But yeah, there's a bunch of people way more capable that will do that.
And lastly, do you have any predictions for the industry in 2023?
I think we're really going to see three particular areas. So because of generally the way people are suffering with being able to pay utility bills, cost of living rising, we're bound to see speculative fraud starting to go up. So how do we address that? Because these guys aren't on any database. No, we can't use solutions that we've been using up to now because generally the kind of person that's committing that fraud would never have thought about committing it before. So how do we find them? You know, because it's only at this moment in time that I'm kind of thinking, I need a bit of money. How do I exaggerate my claim a little bit? So I think that, and we've got to, as an industry, we have to find a way of solving that problem. and the existing solutions aren't geared up for that. So we have to find a completely new way of looking at that problem. Secondly, talent. And it's great to see so many younger people here, but this industry is really suffering with senior people leaving the industry, retiring, doing other things. It's hard for us to fill those roles because people in other industries don't really think, oh, I'll go join the insurance industry. It's not really kind of that attractive. But at the same time, we don't get the young graduates suddenly going through university going, oh, when I graduate, I want to go work for an insurance company. It doesn't really happen. So I think that's another problem. We seriously have to think about how we address that. We've got to make insurance more interesting for people. And it is fascinating. I mean, just look, the kind of stuff that's going on here. But people outside of the industry don't know this. We have to communicate that. So there are two things, growth. So Insurtech community, now because the money's drying up, there is still lots of money around, but people are being a lot more careful about where they put the money. So if I'm a founder of a startup, I can't spend a year now looking for money. I've got to make that process way more efficient. And equally, if I'm an investor, I can't look at 500 opportunities. So how do we do that in a more efficient way? So probably there's tons of others, but I would say those three.
Well, thank you so much for chatting to us.
My pleasure.
Wish you luck with the rest of the conference.
Thank you so much.
Lovely to chat to you.
Thank you.